Guys!
I promise that had absolutely nothing to do with the man in the black box. I promise. You know, they used to give stump speeches this way. The reason they call them stump speeches is because whoever was giving the speech would find a place to stand on, even if it was a stump, and they would stand on the stump and they would give the speech. I hope that that doesn't take away from my 10 minutes. Do I still have the time?
You still have the whole
Okay,
time.
excellent. So I was just going to tell you what I was going to talk about. And what I decided I would talk about was you. Or more specifically, I would like to talk with the graduates. I'd like to talk with you for a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, and then while you're thinking about that question, I'm going to give you 4 tips. Okay? Now this is not a test. You've already done all the tests you're going to take. But the question I'm going to ask you, I want you to keep it to yourself for reasons that will become evident as we get towards the end. So here's the question. And again, I'm asking you graduates, where are you going? Now, I don't mean that literally like, where are you going this afternoon, or where are you going to go this weekend or this summer? Where are you going with your life? You see, I graduated from New Mexico State University 33 years ago. So I can stand here at this podium and I can look back at where I've been. I could stand here and tell you about my victories, my defeats, my ups, my downs, the good times, the bad times, the really cool and interesting people that I've got to meet along the way, to arrive here today in front of you 33 years later. I'm asking you to look the other direction. I want you to think about that in your head right now. I want you to imagine where you're going to be 33 years from now. I want you to think about what type of person you're going to be. I want you to think about what you accomplish between now and the next 33 years. And keep it to yourself for just a minute. You'll understand why. Now, those 4 items. These are just simple little tips, things that I wish that I had done better during those 33 years. And so I'm going to give them to you now so that you don't have to figure it out on your own. Simple stuff. First tip. Always treat everyone you meet and associate with, whether they are the janitor or the President of the United States, with dignity, respect, and interest. It's not only the right thing to do, it will build a group of people and friends who will lay the foundation to help you accomplish what's in your head right now. Now, for some of you, you've figured this out. Probably many of you figured this out on one level or the other. Let me give you an example. You want to get something done in the College of Engineering. You want to get into a lab that's locked after hours. You need a password. You need someone to do you a favor. Who would you like to be friends with that can do that favor for you? Is it the dean? I don't think so. It's not even the department heads. It's not the professors. Who is it? The staff members. It's the department secretary. It's the dean's staff. When I first started practicing law, I did a lot of litigation. It became apparent to me very early that it was more important for me to know someone other than the judge really well. And that person was the court administrator. I could get more done with an informal discussion with the court administrator in 2 minutes than a contentious hearing in front of the judge for an hour. Someday you're going to have a job where you have a secretary or a court administrator or other people working for you. Those people will make you or break you. Listen to them. Respect them. It'll help you get where you need to go. So that's lesson number 1, okay? Pretty simple. Lesson number 2, and this is related, but it's not exactly the same. Never, ever burn a bridge. Don't do it. Now, I know that all of you at some point, if you haven't already experienced it, as an example, are going to have a boss who you absolutely hate and despise. This guy is a jerk. He's narcissistic. He's crude. He's mean. He may even speak with a Brooklyn accent and have wild orange hair. I don't know. But you're going to hate him. And you think it's going to feel so good on that day when you're leaving that job to be able to walk in there and tell that guy exactly what you think of him and exactly what you think of this job. To him and everyone who'll listen. Don't do it. Imagine 10 years later, you own a company. You're about to land the biggest client you've ever landed in your life. This is going to make all the difference in the world. And the decision maker is on the golf course with a college friend of his who just happens to be who? Your old boss. And you will never know why you didn't get that business. Do not burn bridges. Third point, seek out mentors. Remember that vision I asked you to have? Where are you going to be in 33 years? You're going to see people along that journey that are ahead of you on that journey. Maybe somebody who's halfway there. Maybe somebody who's all the way there. You look at that person and you say, that's what I want to be. I want to be like that person when I get there. Think of the valuable information that person can provide to you. Contact them. Walk up to them. Introduce yourself. I have admired what you have done with your life. It's fabulous. I would love to know how you did it. Can I take you to lunch and hear about it? You'd be surprised at how many people will say yes to that invitation. It's human nature. Even very busy and successful people love to talk about themselves. And even if they said, no, thank you, I'm very busy, did that really hurt? But if they say yes, think of the valuable information that they can pass on. The things that they learned through the School of Hard Knocks that they are now passing on to you for free to help you get to where you want to go. And now my last point, because I know I'm bumping up against 10 minutes. And this goes back to what I told you earlier about keep the answer to your question in your head for a minute. Because I'm going to suggest that when it comes to your big, big dreams, the real reach, we all have them, right? Where you're really going for the goal, the big stuff. I suggest you don't tell anybody about that dream. Except maybe your very, very closest family relations, maybe a close friend, a spouse. And there's a reason for that, and again, it's human nature. And I'm just telling you this from observation. If you disclose to the public your big, big dream, you better be prepared to hear from hundreds of people, thousands of different reasons why you will never accomplish it. And it's just human nature that people like to be right. Publishing my first fiction novel was a dream of mine. I kept it to myself. Everybody here, it's the first time you've heard of it. Even Dr. Raxroth, who I'm close to. I think, well, I may have told you. I don't remember.
I knew.
But I didn't tell anybody, including him, until after that book was written, under contract, and I had a publication date. My law partners of 20 years were shocked to find out that I had spent the last 7 years writing a book. And it wasn't because I didn't trust them. It wasn't because I didn't want them to know. It's just human nature. So that last little bit, the big dream that you're reaching for, keep it to yourself. So those are my 4 tips. I want you to hang on to that dream. I pray that you will make it, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today, even if we didn't have light and air conditioning. It's still a glorious day in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Thank you.